Behind moments of courage is often a story that gave you no choice but to act, to rise up to the challenges, to be fearless in the face of the unknown, and to find strength in the midst of despair. My chapter in MAS starts with taking up a role in Pannala, much to my parents' dismay. Although it was a challenge, it was an experience which shaped and grew me in my career, giving me a chance to step into the lives of our team members. I experienced the amazing women of MAS, many of whom were defined by so many negative stigmas that even coming to work was a struggle. While my work shapes me, it also keeps me busy, but it is my family that really gives me purpose and drive, because there is never a dull day when you have 3 energetic kids demanding your time and presence. But I also value me time where I can switch off and be at peace and sit in with my thoughts. For me, this most often happens when I'm in my garden, which has become my sanctuary of sorts, to unwind and just be present in the moment. MAS has always enabled me to create my own story. The organization and the many people I have met through the years have been mentors and great source of strength and inspiration. I had the space for trial and error to observe, understand, and reflect that inspires me to create the changes I desire, while also making many wonderful friendships in between. Sometimes when trial sweeps in like storms, you also learn to find an anchor in the midst of chaos. And 2004 was just that kind of year for me. The tsunami ravaged our nation, and the 2 plants I managed were right in the middle of that chaos. As a leader, I had an enormous responsibility to lead a team through something so unprecedented. At that time, for months, we battled anxiety and fatigue, searching for our employees until we accounted for all of them. At the same time, my mother was battling cancer, and I had no choice but to step up and take care of her. My life was constantly switching between hospital visits to shelters to running the plant HR, which took a toll on my spirit. But I am grateful to how MAS extended support both personally and to me as a leader. Through the MAS founders and stakeholders' immense support, we were able to repurpose 2 old estates and resettle most of our displaced employees to a newer, fully equipped towns of sort. Today, the work I do has become a big part of who I am. In many ways, it has shown me the importance of being strong yet humble, ambitious but empathetic, assertive but kind. And like any equation in life, striking a balance only comes from prioritizing what's important to you. To me, it's my children, especially last year, showed me that when life knocks you down overnight and you have no place to call home, you don't have the luxury to mourn, hate, or even have self-pity. I looked at my kids and I knew there was only one thing to do, which was to get up, rebuild, and rebirth a new life by only focusing on the track ahead of me and running. I take such lessons with me while I continue to lead the change at home and at work at MAS. We at MAS are part of a legacy of nurturing changemakers who challenge the status quo and look beyond what is seen. This comes from a deep sense of courage, a courage that prompts me to show up for myself, for my family, my friends, and the community despite the situation. Because in the end of the day, in my experience, being courageous doesn't mean you have no fear. It's about moving forward despite it.